Okay, so we want to take a look at this dude and tell you that he's sick, he's mentally ill. So he'll say that to white people, which I think most of them were white, but he'll allow riots in the streets and will not say anything about that as if that was a problem. Tell us a little bit about the dude in the video that we're watching. So what he does is he's paid for by the Democrats to create conviction. How I could even do this. Okay, here we go. How could you just sit in front of our faces and how could you talk to us like that? How could you deny the fact that our country has been under siege by migrants? How could you? How could you? How could you turn your back on the American people and my children who are going hungry and have no love in their life because they're being filmed by people from TikTok? And the only thing that you can speak to is an event that happened it was actually 4 years ago today, to show what we were in store for in the last 4 years with your president, that you worked against the American people to overthrow our nation so that you, because of your skin color, would be more valued. However, you do the least amount of work with the most manipulative tactics. How could you? And we're even speaking to MSNBC and legacy media. I've produced so much content to express the realities of what we're dealing with in the world with people like you and people like those on TikTok who are not only destroying family, but they're destroying the way of life of morals and ethics, which have naturally been ingrained in all social classes. There's so many pigmented individuals out there who have succeeded working hard like an American would. An American doesn't mean blank. An American means hardworking and somebody who is standing by the Constitution. And when our Constitution is under fire, we then fight for the Constitution. And that's what the people on January 6th did. And those people in those jail cells are heroes. Heroes to America. Heroes to America and heroes to my children, to show what it means to stand up for what's right. Even when people like yourselves at MSNBC and people like Obama and people like Biden have the audacity to lie to our faces while they promote Middle Eastern, Quran worshiping Persians and invite them into the U.S. Capitol with child abusers like Paris Hilton. Those people on January 6th fought for Phoenix. They fought for London. They fought for Ruston. They fought for Violet and Scout. They fought for Elliot. They fought for Jensen. All the names of my children that have been kept for me since the day they were born, because they're being used as the context in which they live so that people like you can build off of distractions. Distractions meaning they're not happy. My children are not happy. My children are living cold lives with no love. That's an example of them living a reality TV show with pretend parenting. And reminding all of you that on January 6th, it was peaceful until those that I will name, which are those in the FBI who were working for Obama, caused a ruckus and barged their way, Democrats, reminding all of you that Pelosi's daughter just so happened, of all the days of the year, just so happened to be filming, and it is even seen in the docuseries that she created, of Pelosi and Schumer being bad actors and actresses. So the energy that you're putting out in this video is nothing more than a version of conviction to bring an idea of your ideal so that you can win in your game of career versus working for and with the American people. It's very, very challenging. It's very, very challenging to bring awareness to individuals like you. It's sad, if you ask me, because you actually had huge opportunity to work with our community to grow as a leader. But you chose to turn your back on America and fight for the Persians. And this video shows that. The other thing I want to bring into awareness is if we live in a democracy, then the equality of TikTok and viral content is for all, not just for people fueling a brand and image of what TikTok wants to offer, not promoting only the worst of the worst to deteriorate human life. Not only that, but also in a democracy, it upholds law and order, which means people like Addie McCracken and Paris Hilton, they don't get rewarded for abusing children. You get reprimanded. Same thing with people and what Mona Van has done to me personally. The fact of what she's done has been so irreprehensible and so grotesque that it just boggles my mind that you as MSNBC aren't willing to take a look at the most interesting conversation in history, which is human behavior and how a Persian Middle Eastern tried to overtake and overthrow American culture while a woman like myself has fought her tooth and nail from the day she wore that bikini on a Cannes Lions yacht. And not one of you have brought out that story, which is the real story. So while all of you stand around and make up stories of weakness, so see, these are stories of weakness. You play off the emotions of your audience. You are strong enough to understand that if you were actually up to the real things for this country, you're smart enough to understand that nobody would like what you're saying, very much like how they behave toward my content and how you behave toward Donald Trump, because that means you have to abide by laws. And that means things go slower and things aren't going exactly how you want them to. But usually when you are behaving like you're behaving in this video, it's because you personally, not the betterment of all people, no, you personally have something to gain from winning that conviction idea of talking about this January 6th thing. Whether it be Obama giving you a raise or you getting promoted, the reason behind it is, would you like to share? That's not real leadership, and that means you shouldn't be on platform. And this has been a concern and a problem that's been stirring and fueling from Chicago to New York City to all our big cities that spews out onto our smaller towns. However, I'm not going to put up with it no more. No, I'm not going to put up with it, meaning I'm going to speak out against it. Don't speak out against it, because you know what's going to happen? They're going to attack you, because what you don't understand is what I've been battling and what I've been exposing only comes when my shit goes viral. And it's going to be a hellacious moment when that happens, as I've been producing content for 7 years, but not for me. It'll be hellacious for the Democrat Party. So my recommendation for you, sir, is for you to wake up, to get your education and information together, to get ready to turn it over to the FBI, make your deal and save your life so that you don't go to hell for the rest of eternity. You might have missed history class. No offense. I made a D in advanced AP history. However, I went back and reviewed it, and I took other history classes to actually have me take a look at what the Civil War was about, which was economics. It wasn't about all the other stuff that you all speak to. It wasn't about pigment. It was about economics. It was about control. And it's exactly what the Democrats have been secretly battling, keeping everyone in distraction with perversion, while people who actually stood for the American flag were there on January 6th.